Hi and welcome back to Rubyvale Road. Today's tutorial is how to make this lovely little summer top. To make the top, we're going to need some pretty summery fabric in like a cotton or a linen with a matching button and some thin sort of elastic. So the only measurements that we're going to need to make this top are just our width of our high bust, which you measure just up here, just above your bust as you can see all the way around. And then we're also going to need from the high bust here to where you want the top to finish. So for me, I wanted mine just below my waist. And then also, if you're wearing a bra, just use a bra as a sort of rough estimate so that you can measure from here to over to the other side as to about how much you'll need to length to cut your straps. Once you've taken your measurements, you just need to, you can just pause the video here and you can see how to work out the maths to make your pattern pieces. Again, they're just all rectangles, so they're super easy and just don't even need to make any sort of pattern pieces. As you can see here, I just use my tape measure and my fabric chalk and I just draw the rectangles and measure the rectangles straight out onto my fabric and cut them out. And this little rectangle here is to use to cover my elastic to make the button loop. And straight into sewing the straps. So fold them right sides together, lengthways, sew down the nice long straight edge, leave the two short edges open, and then turn them out the right way using a safety pin. Then we're going to do a nice top stitch along the two long edges, as close as you can to that edge so it makes them nice and neat and flat. Time together the body of the top, which is done by sewing two evenly spaced rows using your longest stitch length on your machine. Leaving the long threads attached to your stitches, you can then gently tug on these to gather in the fabric, and then we just need to gather it in to the length of your neckline, leading us into our next step, which is to pin and sew the neckline to the body of the top with right sides facing each other. Then fold over the neckline and sew again inside the existing seam, doing a top stitch from the right side of the fabric. I unfortunately didn't do this, which I then learnt later. I had to unpick it, which you will see, but don't sew about like 2.5 centimeters at each end of the neckline. Now we can join it together at the center back seam and leave about 5 centimeters at the top unsewn. This will be our little split so that we have enough room to fit it over our head. And then go ahead and finish your seam. So I just overlocked mine, but you can also use a zigzag stitch on a domestic machine to finish the edges. And then what we're going to do is, as you can see here, this is where I needed to unpick it because we need that like inch left open on the ends of the neckline. We're going to fold under 1 centimeter on each side and stitch it down and then finish off the neckline which we left open. Next we need to make our little fastening for the back of the blouse. This is totally optional, but I just decided to cover my elastic just to make it a bit prettier. So I just threaded the elastic through and then measured to make sure that it fitted on the button. To attach it to the blouse, we're just going to sandwich it in there at the neckline, which is left open, and then top stitch it on, and then of course we're going to need to top stitch the other side just to neaten that off, and then we can sew with a needle and thread our button onto the blouse. Now it's going to be time to try our blouse on so that we can position the straps where we want them to go. So I found that at the front I could have the straps sitting nice and straight, but at the back I found I needed to place them on a little bit of an angle so that they sat more flush to the skin. To sew the straps to the top, we do a lovely top stitch all the way around that top edge of the neckline. As you can see here, it just finishes it off. It gives a really good professional finish, which is what we love. And lastly, of course, we just need to do the hem, which is just done by a little roll and roll up 1/2 centimeter and then roll up another 1/2 centimeter, and you are done. Tuning into Rubyvale Road. I hope you enjoyed the video on how to make this really lovely little summer top. It's easy and breezy. If you do make it, of course, please tag me at Rubyvale Road, and I'd love to see all of your creations. You can feel very inspired. You can put little buttons here at the straps if you like. You can do any sort of little closure you like at the back there, and I hope you really enjoy making it and enjoy wearing it. All the best on all your sewing adventures, and if you did like the video, please leave me a thumbs up and subscribe to @Rubyvale Road. Thank you so much. Bye bye.